want to pull in Kairos Evans, Frankie Catafias in the Pinpoint Weather Center. Frankie, you know, we were just talking about those flooding concerns, and you've mentioned that in your forecast all day today.
Yeah, in fact, I'll pull up the map one more time. I think when we have a weather event like this, Gwen, there's no such thing as showing somebody a relevant graphic too many times. Now, this is the weather threat graphic, and I just want you to focus on the flood watch. That's everything you see here in green. So it's a very widespread flood watch, and in fact, it's even layered with part of the avalanche warning, both for the same reason, because heavy rain is expected to come. We're looking at another round of atmospheric river, and that's going to be pushing our rain totals, our rain values between now and 10 a.m. up. We're expecting to receive just shy of 2 inches for the Seattle area, well over 1.5 inches in the South Sound, 2 inches for Olympia, and we are pushing ever so close to about 3 inches along the coast, with some of our areas in the North Sound looking to average about 1.5 inches. Now, again, we've been looking at the flood watches, and we've been keeping an eye on what the National Weather Service is saying, and right now there is moderate to high risk of some major flooding for some of our rivers in King, Snohomish, and Skagit counties. So we'll continue to keep a close eye on that, but with this rain coming so fast, another thing we have to put out there is the potential for urban flooding and, of course, street flooding. So keep that in the back of your mind, and just know that that is possible as we head into tomorrow, Tuesday, and you could even see the aftermath of it on Wednesday.
Alrighty, thanks, Frankie. Now, I want you to take a look at this. It is the sudden and startling moment a car just slams through a Bellevue restaurant, narrowly missing the customers who were eating inside. Kairos 7 Samantha Lomibao is live at Swish Swish Hot Pot. Sam, this is really a prime example of how things can turn so quickly.
It really is, Gwen. The owner tells me that it is really just a miracle that everyone came out alive. But now they're dealing with those repairs, and those repairs include the front of the storefront that was slammed through by that car. You can still see some of the tire tread marks, and this is exactly the moment where the car hit the wall and pinning the customers. Fortunately, if you take a look over here, you can see how this is a chipped countertop. Well, this actually helped reduce that impact, potentially saving their lives. I mean, take a look at the moment that car went in on Wednesday night. You can see this crazy surveillance video that in just seconds the driver reversed into the shop, shattering glass and pinning those booths I was talking about with customers into the wall, literally inches away from seriously injuring them. The owner said on any other night there would have been people waiting at this entrance where that car pummeled through, and he's just grateful no one was there at that time.
So people would have been here, right, waiting. But because the incident was a little bit late that night, so it was already quiet down. So there was no people in the front waiting area, so no one got hit.
Yeah, it's terrible what happened, but the timing couldn't have been any better to keep these people safe. And I did reach out to Bellevue police about the driver of the car. They tell me she was not arrested because they believe this to be an accidental incident. They say that she was in the parking lot, hit the gas while she was in reverse, and that's when she slammed in through this restaurant. But the owner says it's still a very devastating loss for this restaurant that's been here for more than 10 years, especially for the employees who depend on it as a main income. They're not expected to reopen for another 3 to 4 months, but if you'd like to help them in the meantime, they do have a GoFundMe. Live in Bellevue, Samantha Lomibao, Kairos 7 News.
Thanks, Sam. Happening tomorrow, Governor Jay Inslee plans to lay out his plans to tackle the state's fentanyl crisis in the next legislative session. Tomorrow, he's attending a drug roundtable at the new Evergreen Recovery Center. This is in Everett, bringing together experts and law enforcement to discuss the biggest needs in Washington communities. And that need is great. The Pacific Northwest is going through a large increase of fentanyl deaths over the last year, more than any other region in the country. Here in King County for 2023, we passed the 2022 fentanyl death toll back in September. Tomorrow, the governor is expected to go over the funding he's wanting to dedicate during this legislative session. And the big item out of the last legislative session to address the drug epidemic was the so-called Blake fix. It took a special session, but eventually lawmakers agreed to a law creating a penalty for both public drug use and possession. Over the last 6 months, cities have changed their codes to match the new state law. Also happening tomorrow, the Renton City Council could decide how they want to move forward with a proposed minimum wage increase. King County Elections certified a petition to raise it. The petition is calling for a jump from $15.74 to $19 an hour. Tomorrow, the council will vote on a resolution to put it up for special election. That election would be next February. And tonight, we now know an Idaho 10-month-old has been found dead after an Amber Alert was issued for 2 states. Jeremy Albert was arrested Friday, accused of kidnapping the child, along with killing his wife the day before.
She was a mom who died defending her baby. And that is really just all you can ask for as a mother, is to lay down your life for your child. And we are so proud of her. And we are also so devastated that that was a choice that she had to make.
The suspect was spotted by a hunter and turned into police. Investigators found his wrecked car in a nearby embankment. The 10-month-old was dead at the scene of the crash. Now to a problem we've seen countless times in Western Washington, people throwing things off overpasses and onto the freeway. And it has happened again, this time in Seattle, near the U District. Kiro 7's Bridget Chavez spoke with a family who had an electric scooter slam onto the hood of their car.
The scooter, it just dropped right here on this bonnet, and that's where it got whole damage. The front hood, everything is must be replaced.
A close call for Nilesh Patel's son after a Lime scooter was thrown off this overpass, smashing the hood of the car Wednesday night.
Side mirror got broken out too.
Somehow just missing crashing through the windshield.
By looking at this damage and just looking at here, like my son was sitting there, I think I'm very thankful that nothing happened to him. Like, it can be worst.
The Patel story is one that's all too familiar. Back in 2021, someone threw a scooter off an overpass, which crashed onto the busy lanes of I-5 below. Somehow, it missed smashing directly into a vehicle.
This is like an ongoing problem. So, and that's where I got really frustrated. I'm very frustrated at that point because it's being reported on news channel and nothing being done yet.
Washington State Patrol says whoever did this still has not been caught.
I think City of Seattle and the police department need to do more on it. Like, I don't know what they are waiting for it.
Lime provided us with a statement saying in part, we are in contact with the Seattle Department of Transportation and the Washington State Patrol and will cooperate with any investigation accordingly. We hope the person who committed this crime is identified and brought to justice. Bridget Chavez, Kiro 7 News.
The Huskies get the news they've been waiting for since winning the conference title. They're in the college playoff, but who, when, and where were the only questions left. We'll have more reaction coming up next in sports.
And if you find yourself heading out the door, maybe going to catch a glimpse of some of the wild lantern lights at the Woodland Park Zoo, just know it's looking mostly cloudy and cool, but there is some wet weather on the way, and we'll talk about that.
Watch your wealth blossom with a high-yield CD from OB Credit Union. Get an easy, safe, reliable 5.0% APY 7-month CD. Go to obee.com/CD to apply.
Join Simply Fiber and give to the Kiro 7 Cares Toy Drive, benefiting the Salvation Army and Toys for Tots. Donate a new unwrapped toy at any Albert Lee appliance or find a list of participating locations at Kiro7.com/Toy Drive. Brought to you by Simply Fiber and our community partners.
Kick off the holidays at the Fifth Avenue Theater with White Christmas. The timeless musical features music, dancing, and a magical snowfall at every performance. Buy tickets now for the whole family. White Christmas at the Fifth Avenue Theater. fifthavenue.org.
Join all city events and give to the Kiro 7 Cares Toy Drive, benefiting the Salvation Army and Toys for Tots. Donate a new unwrapped toy at any Albert Lee appliance or find a list of participating locations at Kiro7.com/Toy Drive. Brought to you by All City Fence and our community partners.
How about this rain? What do you say I come on over?
Is he really doing this again?
I can't get enough of that undercover system you got over there. So nice of you guys to invite me over.
Stay dry underneath your deck with an undercover system. Visit undercoversystemspnw.com.
Who's in the game? Who's on the sidelines? Watch my injury report. I've got the game time scoop.
Catch the Injury Report, sponsored by Tulalip Resort Casino. Only on Kiro 7 Scouting Report with Chris Francis. Saturdays at 7:30 p.m. on Kiro 7.
For Christmas, I would like to have a dog,
a bicycle, and fun trading cards. It's a small thing to buy a gift, but a big thing in a child's life to receive it. Give now to the Kiro 7 Cares Toy Drive, benefiting the Salvation Army and Toys for Tots. Donate a new unwrapped toy at any Albert Lee appliance location or go to Kiro7.com/toy drive.
Brought to you by Albert Lee Appliance and our community partners.
Toyota-thon is on. Now's the time to get an exciting new Toyota. Like Camry Hybrid, RAV4, Tundra, and more.
How did you...
Magic.
Toyota is now offering $1,000 APR cash on any new gas model 2024 Camry and gas model 2024 Corolla. Or get low APR financing on remaining new 23 Corollas.
Come in today.
Toyota. Let's go places.
Seriously, Dad. You missed Nana's 70th birthday.
Don't be so hard on your father.
It's chilly outside, you know. You want me to catch a cold?
You literally live across the street.
Sweetie, ever since we got one of those signature heating installs from Greenwood, our home is so cozy, it's impossible to leave.
No way I'm going out there.
And we will do our best to meet it.
All you have to do is point.
Crews in Hawaii have started removing the Navy plane that overshot a runway and ended up in a nearby bay. Today they used floating devices to push that plane toward land. The removal team worked to make sure that no additional coral was disrupted during the removal. The Navy says it will cost nearly $1.5 million to remove and restore that plane. And Congress is running out of time to supply funding to the aviation industry. It comes as we've told you about a rise in airport runway near misses and also about pilot and air traffic controller shortages. Our Washington correspondent Samantha Manning looks at the impact of delaying this bill.
An urgent warning from the aviation industry.
A new approach is desperately needed.
About the need to catch up with severe staff shortages.
Air traffic control is already a highly stressful profession. Controllers that are required to work 200 hours per month amplifies that fatigue.
A bill known as the FAA Reauthorization Act aims to help fix this problem.
The workforce is so green. They have lost so much expertise right now. We've got to be able to train them, which this bill addresses.
The bill also ensures funding for infrastructure projects. That includes safety improvements to prevent runway near misses, which have been on the rise, with 23 serious runway incursions so far this year.
We'll help airports upgrade runways, taxiways, and lighting to mitigate runway incursions and enhance safety.
The House passed the bipartisan FAA reauthorization bill over the summer, but it's been at a standstill in the Senate.
Our colleagues in the other chamber have not made the same progress.
I can't emphasize enough about the importance of moving this bill forward.
Members in the House and aviation industry are now calling on the Senate to act quickly before the December 31st deadline.
And the bill has been held up in the Senate because of disagreements over pilot training requirements. No word yet on when the Senate may take up that bill. And moving now a little bit closer to home, Frankie, I mean, the big talker of the day is this week ahead, really.
Yeah, Monday, Tuesday are the headliners for sure. Mother Nature is not messing around with some of the rain that's coming our way. In fact, let's enjoy this quiet lull that we continue to sit in. Right now, Seattle-Tacoma Airport looking calm, not just on the weather front, but luckily in the arrival and departure line as well. Not bad for a Sunday. Taking a look at your current temperature, 50 degrees with a wind out of the south moving at about 15 miles per hour, and we're seeing that those temperatures across western Washington are pretty consistent. We're within the range of lower 50s, upper 40s. Taking a look at some of the forecasted wind gusts, we had a gusty day today, and we anticipate some more wind gusts heading into tomorrow, although as we look between now heading into tomorrow, nothing really standing out up until about, it looks, 5 a.m., but you'll see brewing offshore. We surely do have some stronger wind gusts that are going to be accompanying this atmospheric river. Now we have a high pressure system, a warm front that's kicking up from the south up north, and this is going to help push forth a lot of this precipitation, and it's also going to kick our snow levels up that we're currently at about 4,000 or 5,000 feet, way up to about 8,000, 9,000 feet. So all the precipitation coming our way, anything below 8,000, 9,000 feet, it's going to fall as rain. This is how it plays out. It washes right over us on Monday, and we'll start to see that once it gets its rhythm, kind of gets its bearings by early tomorrow morning. By tomorrow evening, we've got lots of intensity, intense spots over near Forks, out towards the Olympics, down the Olympic Peninsula, and it's going to become more widespread with heavier rains, really favoring the southwest interior, the South Sound, and of course that's going to strike up all the way in to Skagit and even parts of Whatcom County. We have a look at that rainfall outlook and something that is just really worth putting out there to give you a good frame of reference for just how much rain we're looking at between now and 10 a.m. on your Tuesday. Now we're starting to track about almost 3 inches of rain between Bremerton, Hoquiam,